Yeah, I think I could agree with that. It's definitely mainly a big topic that people are really sensitive about when it comes to discussing with others.
Yeah, some people have too much pride to just say it. They're scared to say sorry because they just don't want to be wrong. Everyone's just so caught in this concept of not wanting to be wrong that they'll hold back to that sorry or wait for the other person to say it. And it becomes a waiting game where you just throw shit out there like jabs and lobbies and constantly back and forth, waiting another person to apologize that you just don't want to. You can't suck it up or look at it from another person's perspective and realize why, like, you might be wrong or they don't want to see why they might be wrong. So a back and forth war. It's like a Cold War. But who's gonna say sorry and who's like, nah,
I think it's when you have a good time to have a conversation about it between two or more people, how many people are going to do it. I don't think you should say it like immediately after. Like, can't just be like, yeah, I hurt someone's feelings, oh, I'm sorry, because that's just kind of like when you bump someone on the street, kind of sorry, which just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I think it's when you can have either, you know, a constructive conversation. That could be in public, that could be in the comfort of your bedroom, I don't know, whenever you feel like it. But yeah, I think the timing and location are also crucial in getting that right. Sometimes you can bring something up that is just not necessarily the right time for it, and then you say sorry, and it's kind of a waste of the sorry bomb, I guess.
On a scale from 1 to 10, saying sorry is an 11.
Yeah, it's up there. It's over, man.
It's up there.
Yeah,
it's needed in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't. There's no room for pride in our relationship, and it shouldn't be any room for pride in any relationship. You know, because when you let that, you know, take over, then you have this ego, and you just think that you're always right. You know, in the beginning, when I first started going out with her, I was just like, you know, I'm just thinking like a man. You know, I'm not thinking like, okay, I'm not ever putting myself in her shoes. I'm like, come on, why she get mad over that? You know, then I finally understand her way of thinking after 8 months together.
I wouldn't say that, only because I'm not a very spiteful person, and I don't hold a grudge like that. So, like, it's, you know, I can't stay mad at people. If it's something I really can't get over, you know, then we gotta part ways. I'm quick to cut certain people out of my life if I feel like we're going down a certain path where we're losing respect for each other and we're not able to form a conversation and talk things out anymore.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so it's not important. Like, I'm not gonna not talk to you until you say sorry or something like that. That's juvenile. So
I would say that it is, but it depends on if I know what let's like take a relationship, I guess, for example. Like, if the person did something and I know about it, then obviously I'd expect you to tell me that you're sorry. But I guess it goes back to being honest. If I don't know about it, like, why would you bother me with telling me? If it's not going to affect your feelings towards me, and if you're not going to care about it, then I don't know, I guess you're protecting my feelings in a way, but, you know, I don't know. I think that's a hard one.
It's a hard one, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of get twisted up when it comes to that one too.
Yeah, I think it's a hard one.
I think in all, no matter if it's relationships, friendships, families, whatever it is, you get to a certain point where you know the boundaries of each relationship, and you know there's certain lines that most times you're not going to cross. But when the boundaries of those relationships get pushed, someone, or if not both, or whoever, however many parties, there's going to be times where you cross certain lines that you know better, and you're not going to say it right then and there when you cross a boundary, but I feel all of us know deep down, like, if I cross this boundary, you know, eventually, if we ever work things out, it has to be, you know, we have to patch that up. Because when we're in arguments and things of that nature, we cross those lines to try to cut and hurt deep. And, you know, if we need to reconcile, we need to apologize for that.
I can definitely empathize with, you know, a lot of the conflicts that I've had in relationships with my friends or my girlfriend. I'll like talk it out and hash it out, and I like to weigh in on both sides. I like to see it from their perspective first, see what have I done wrong, try to understand how, you know, their mind works and what I did was wrong, see if it was wrong. Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to deliberately make you feel uncomfortable or make you feel bad or whatever, so I apologize. You know, it's just so much easier that way. And I say sorry a lot. I mean, I must be an asshole.
I mean, I think it's different people and how you deal with it. I think maybe for women in certain situation, it might be dragged on longer, like that stubbornness, like no one really wants to both sort of thinks they are in the right. And I mean, in those situations, I think it's to sort of get away from that, is to be saying sorry to that person. I'm sorry that you feel that way, even though maybe you still feel that you're in the right. But I think, yeah, so I think maybe that's a bit of the difference, that when you're in a situation with a girlfriend or something like that, that it can drag on for quite a while because both are being quite stubborn.
It's not necessarily a rule, but I know my girlfriend really well, and I know there's varying levels of being offended. There's sometimes where I offend her and it annoys her, and she just like wants to get her point across. But there's sometimes where it legitimately hurts her feelings. And when I see that she's actually hurt by something that I said, I just feel terrible. And then I have to separate what's a sorry that comes from guilt, because our relationship in general, we're huge on communication. Like I'm a teacher, she's a therapist, so like clearly we need to have the communications across. So when it comes from a sorry that's straight from guilt, like it's not necessarily, it doesn't really appease the situation as much, because I'm saying just sorry after the fact, and like
Yeah.
it's not necessarily genuine. But then I sit back and think about it for about like 10-15 minutes, and I'm really reflective, so I think about it. What did I say? Why could it have been hurtful? Yada yada yada. And then like shit, like I was wrong. So when I see that I've hurt her, then that's like my threshold, and just like sorry.
When we were kids, we hand painted strawberries